Oh, what a nightmare. How gutting is that? After a tremendous week, beating Barcelona, doing ourselves proud against Arsenal, showing Arsenal were fallible, finding a way, playing with brute force, playing with pride, playing with passion. How can we possibly have thrown it all away against the relegation contender Leeds United? It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. It's so totally unnecessary. Like, it was so avoidable. After what we did against 10-man Arsenal, it's just pointless. It's completely pointless. There is no point in being that good against Arsenal. There is no point in blowing Barcelona out the water if you are going to be vulnerable against a team like Leeds United. All of that outstanding work, all completely undone. Such a shame. And I tell you what, it's the club at the moment. They don't take games like this seriously enough. The manager doesn't take games like this seriously enough. There's one thing getting up for Barcelona, getting up for Arsenal, getting up for Liverpool. You have to be able to get up for Brighton at home, where we got beat. You have to be able to get up for Sunderland at home, where we got beat. You have to be able to get up for Brentford away, where we drew. You have to be able to get up for Leeds United away from home. Do they not understand that this is a massive fixture? Do they not understand that this is one of our most important fixtures? And off the back of that now, I was genuinely dreaming that we were in a title race. I genuinely believed that there was a world in which we could do it. But we've just dropped points at a rival in a very difficult circumstance. Going away from home, up north, against a team and a crowd who were always going to be up for it. It's so foolish to not be ready to combat that. This first super chat of the day has landed. It's from the Chronic Tie, who says, "You ain't coming to Elland Road and getting an easy game. Hold that. Can't wait to smoke you at the bridge." The problem is, it's very difficult for me to combat that. Anyone who gets it knows that going to Elland Road is going to be tough. Anyone who gets it knows that Leeds United are a massive rival of ours. Anyone who gets it fully understands that going to Elland Road in the circumstances is a potentially disastrous fixture. If you are professional, if you understand the club, if the ambition of the club is to be the best that we can be, you go into that game and you put out a very, very professional 2-0 win. I understand what this game means. We should have been up for this the way we were up for Barcelona. Leeds United are a far bigger rival of ours than Arsenal. We should have been up for this the way that we were up for the Arsenal game. But we're not because it's not glamorous. We're not up for Sunderland because it's not glamorous. We're not up for Brighton because it's not glamorous. But we play Liverpool at home, we play Barcelona at home, we play Arsenal at home. Wallop. And something needs to change here. It's so frustrating. Because there is something quite exciting going on at Chelsea. And I've been complimentary about Maresca, but he got it so wrong today. We do not have a squad that allows you to rotate in the way that he has rotated there. We do not have a squad that allows you to make the amount of changes that he has made. No one has ever found success in the Premier League by chopping and changing the centre halves. Think about it, genuinely. Help me out. Can anyone think of an example of a team that have won a Premier League title and has done so by chopping and changing the two centre halves? It's so bad. It's just so bad. You cannot have a world where you don't know who your two best centre halves are. It's so obvious, the formula, the recipe for success. And what the recipe for success is not knowing who your best centre-half is. Benoit Badiashile should never play for Chelsea again. Benoit Badiashile should literally never, ever play for Chelsea again. He is the worst centre-half at the club. Tosin Adarabioyo is the second worst centre-half at the club. They played them together. Obviously, you are going to give Leeds something to think about when they're up against the two worst centre-halves. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is so average, is going to be looking at Tosin Adarabioyo and going, maybe. He's going to be looking at Benoit Badiashile and going, maybe. He's going to be looking at Trevor Chalobah playing out of position and going, maybe. It's so foolish. And this is why I think we are capable this season of doing something quite impressive. But we're also capable of pressing the self-destruct button against anyone. That is why all we can be is a cup team. I was so dumb. I was so foolish. I was so idiotic. I was so optimistically dopey. You know that dunce? Somebody should get a big cone hat and put it on my head and put the letter D on it. You know what they used to do to dumb kids back in the day at school? The dunce kid would sit in the corner with a big cone hat on and put a letter D on his head. That's what you should do to me. You should get me a big cone hat, stick it on my head, put the letter D on it, and maybe get on the tube to work in the morning. Because I'm a dunce. I was the one who was saying, off the back of that euphoria that I felt against Arsenal, that something massive could happen. Off the back of that particular moment, I thought there was a world where something could happen. And I knew that it could. Like, I have said time and time again that Enzo Maresca will not win a league. I've said time and time again that those centre-halves will not win a league. And I allowed myself to dream and think that we could be in a title race. And I will never do that again, because that is a dunce's manoeuvre. And I'm a dunce for even thinking it were possible. Into the super chat, I must go. It's Brandon Schofield who says possibly the shortest title challenge ever. It's about 3 days, isn't it? About 3 days. Charlie Knight says, what a title. Oh, here we go. What a title race. Celebrated a draw against Arsenal only to be humbled by mighty Leeds. Yeah. Johnny Leach says, with all the mad results this year, my question, is this the worst or the best Premier League? I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying this season. I think it's a good season. I'm not enjoying this particular moment of the season. I'm not enjoying this particular minute of the season. But, mate, City 5-4. I love that. I love that. I love the Mavericks in the game at the moment. I love some of the players that are in the league. And I think it is a good season. I am enjoying it. Ruman says, title contenders, absolutely not. You are right. Seasider says, no chance you thought you were going to come to our place and disrespect the fixture with a performance like that and get a W. Soft. Seasiders. Leeds United aren't Seasiders. Is that who do Seasiders? Blackpool, no? Seasiders. Nah, mate, we made a massive, disastrous manoeuvre today, and it was all my own fault. I've learned something about myself. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a dunce. And I'm serious. I allowed myself to dream. I've constantly said that Enzo Maresca doesn't win a league. I've constantly said that Enzo Maresca is not capable of winning a league, and it's over. Like, the title race for Chelsea is well and truly over. Like, you don't actually believe that Chelsea are in a title race. Does anyone? Right? Yes or no? Are Chelsea in a title race? Yes or no? Let me just see if anyone believes that Chelsea are actually in a title race. I just don't see how it can be possible. Well, by the way, while you do that, will you do me a favour? Will you like the stream? It really does help me out if you would just click like on that stream. But yeah, I tell you what, I am full of shame. Absolute shame. Because I allowed myself to believe. I allowed myself, off the back of that performance from Reece James, off the back of that performance from Cucurella, off the back of that performance from Enzo Fernandez, I allowed myself to dream that we were in a title race. And that is basically what an idiot does. Dunce, dope, fool. Because we're not. No, there's a couple of people. A couple of people seem to think that Chelsea are... No, overwhelmingly no. It's saying overwhelmingly no. You never were. I've disliked. That's kind of you. A big no. A couple of yeses, weirdly. But no, I mean, I've Leeds United have actually done me a favour on some level, because Leeds United have told me not to get carried away. They've taught me a valuable lesson. Chelsea, at the very best, can only be a good cup team this season. We are a cup team. It's 1997 all over again. On our day, we can beat anyone, but we do not have the consistency. We do not have the consistency that is needed to launch a serious and sustained bid to win a Premier League title. We are not about that life. We are not about that world. We are lacking in so many qualities. And I'll tell you where one of the qualities that we're lacking, this is where I was foolish. This is where I got it wrong. This is where I need the big cone hat with a D on it. Enzo Maresca. I allowed myself to believe. I allowed myself to believe that he was getting it right. I allowed myself to think that he was moving in the right direction. And whilst he is capable of finding a formula to beat anyone, he is also capable of finding a formula to lose to anyone. That is what Enzo Maresca is capable of doing. Enzo Maresca can outthink anyone. He can outthink Hansi Flick. He can outthink Mikel Arteta. He can outthink Arne Slot. Enzo Maresca can be outthought by anyone. Anyone. Enzo Maresca can be outthought by Ruben Amorim, a manager that doesn't really think. He can be outthought by absolutely anyone. He can be outthought by Keith Andrews at Brentford. And that is the problem. That is a problem. I allowed myself to say that we could win a league title. I saw an evolution of Enzo Maresca. I liked the way that he was talking. I liked the way that he was conducting himself. I liked the words that he was saying. It felt like, off the back of having a man sent off at Old Trafford, he learned from that. We went down to 10 men against Arsenal and he behaved in a completely different way. I thought, evolution. Moving in the right direction. This is exciting. Something good is going on here. And then we're right back to square one. And this is where I have to admit that I'm a dope. Because I allowed myself to dream. What you need to do is you need to only process fact. I was dreaming. I thought that something could happen, but deep down I know it. Deep down I know Enzo Maresca doesn't win a league title. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I've seen Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the cover of GQ magazine more recently than I have seen him on the goal scorers charts. I have seen Dominic Calvert-Lewin posing in some mad clothing on the cover of a magazine far more recently than I have seen him score goals. And now he's done that to us. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had one good season under a great like Carlo Ancelotti. Somehow he has undone our back line. And this is where Enzo Maresca has to hold his hands up. This is where Enzo Maresca has to admit that he is getting it wrong. Because Chelsea obviously do not have the squad to make those sorts of changes. Chelsea obviously do not have a deep enough squad to start chopping and changing our centre-halves. We have a good first 11. And what exactly are we resting players for if not Leeds away? Leeds away for Chelsea, on some definition, is one of our hardest games of the season. On some definition, Leeds United away for a Chelsea fan, going to an away game, it is the biggest banana skin. It is the most intense away game. It is the most likely to end in an embarrassment. When you go there, you are an enemy. They sing about Chelsea every week. We hate them. It's a real rivalry. And I don't know if Enzo Maresca hasn't acknowledged the rivalry. I don't know if Enzo Maresca hasn't learnt about the history of the club in which he is the public face of. But he needs to pay Leeds United so much more respect. Everybody knows that that's a difficult game for us. Everybody knows that we are capable of being beat at Leeds United. Unless we go there and we demonstrate an aptitude similar to the one they will demonstrate. You know when you go there, their fans will be up for it. You know when you go there, their fans will make it hateful for you. You know when you go there as an away fan, you zip up your jacket, you put your head down, you hope for the best, you stay in a tight pack, you make sure your pals are around you because it's a tough one. Going to Ellen Road, I remember going to Ellen Road when I was a kid. James Milner scored. We were about 18. They're younger, 16. And we went up there. It was not fun. It was not fun. It was between Christmas and New Year. You know that lull between Christmas and New Year? I remember going. We got beat 2-0. There were Leeds fans. We were kids. There were Leeds fans who were about 40 who were not friendly to us. It's one of the most intense games that you're going to play. It's one of the most intense games that Enzo Maresca is going to manage. And going into a game like that, his responsibility is to learn the history of the club. His responsibility is to understand that you have to play your strongest team at Leeds United away. So to rotate in the way that he did is so foolish. To rotate in the way that he did is so dumb. Badiashile was so poor that he got dragged at half-time. Tosin Adarabioyo is an excuse for a Chelsea player. He's embarrassingly bad. And if you watch him for that third goal that killed the game, you shouldn't play for the club again. Like, our lack of quality at centre-half is so abundantly clear. How can you not obviously just play Fofana Chalobah? Fofana Chalobah, it's so easy. Benoit Badiashile is not good enough to play Premier League football. How can I know that? How can you know that? How can Enzo Maresca not know it? It's all very well for me to admit my frailties, right? I have said that I'm a thicko. I have said that I'm a dunce. I have said that I got it wrong, and I am totally open to admitting that I got it wrong. I got it wrong when I backed Enzo Maresca. I got it wrong when I said that Chelsea were in the title race. I was caught up in the euphoria of Reece James' noise. I was caught up in the euphoria of the Enzo Fernandez performance. I was caught up in the euphoria of Cucurella smashing through the back of Saka. I was caught up in the euphoria. But I'm a fan. How can Enzo Maresca be dumb enough to play Benoit Badiashile in a game like this? How? How can you do that? How can you honestly believe that Chelsea are capable of beating Leeds United away? And I will say it again. On some definition, it is one of our hardest games of the season. For fans, it is one of our most intense games of the season. So pay them the respect that they deserve. Stick Fofana at centre-half. Stick Chalobah at centre-half. I just can't understand what you're doing. How can you possibly go into a game like this and have, I don't know, Liam Delap leading the line? We need to have a conversation about Liam Delap at some point as well, by the way. Geezer don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't move. Doesn't move. He's like the most static centre-half I've ever seen. I'm going back into the Super Chat here. It told you Chelsea fans are the new Arsenal fans. Delusional. I don't think it was delusion. I think it was delusion suggests that there's no logic. Delusion suggests that I say it now off the back of losing to Leeds. I don't think it was delusional. It was completely illusional. It was based upon what I was saying. Matt says, Karma, all you do is break legs. Who? What on earth is that based upon? None of the above is true. Rebel Spoon says there is no title race. I mean, I think there is. Just rather painfully, we're not in it. Lewis Wainwright, I know him. Says, oh my God, it's the kid from Frankenstein. I know it. Don't I know him? Lewis. Hang on a minute. Oh no, I don't. I don't know him. I know Lewis Hargreaves. I don't know Lewis. Sorry. Yeah, I was that kid. But no, I just can't. I just cannot believe that it got that bad. Liam Powell says, you got too excited about drawing to a shattered Arsenal squad missing Gabriel and Saliba. Love the content though, mate. Keep it up. I don't know if that's what it was. Liam. I don't think I got too excited about that. I don't think that is exactly the mistake that I made. But I thought that there was a vulnerability to Arsenal. I thought that there was an excellence to Chelsea. I thought that there was a learning curve to Enzo Maresca. I thought that there was a maturity about the team. But Maresca has completely got this wrong. And that is why he's a good cup manager. Chelsea could win the FA Cup this year. I think that we could launch a serious bid to win the Champions League. I really do. But the reason that we will not win a league title under Enzo Maresca is because he isn't this guy. He isn't the guy for all of the occasions. He might be a guy for the big occasions, which gives you a role. But ultimately, Leeds United have demonstrated an awakening within us. We aren't what we thought we might be. And I think even when we thought we might be it, we knew that it was a long shot. But effectively now, we have just completely lost all pace in the title race. And I was billing us as potential title contenders. Like, that performance against Arsenal was worthy of being considered for a title. But I tell you what, the rotation from Enzo Maresca has cost us. Enzo Maresca has cost us. That's what it is. You know, I think we can give him credit when he deserves credit, but today he cost us. 5 changes. New centre-back pairing. That is only ever going to end in disaster. We don't have a squad capable of doing it. Like, look at the players who are on Chelsea's bench, right? How can you possibly rotate? Like, you know when Arsenal rotate and out goes Odegaard and in goes Eze? Yeah, makes sense. You know when other clubs rotate? I don't know, out goes Foden, in comes Marmoush. You're like, yeah, okay, you can rotate. You know when Chelsea rotate and you're like, out goes Reece James, in goes Chalobah at fullback. It's like, wait, what are you talking about? You're like, out goes Fofana, who's a good centre-half. In comes Benoit Badiashile. Benoit Badiashile is not good enough to play Premier League football. I promise you, if you take one thing from this video, Benoit Badiashile is not a Premier League centre-half. While we're at it, Tosin Adarabioyo should never play for Chelsea again. They are not Premier League quality centre-halves. So don't rotate them. If I can see it, if Enzo Maresca can't see it, what's going on? I can see it, you can see it, all the fans can see it. All the fans are going, why on earth has he rotated like this? All my friends that are on their way up to Leeds, in a WhatsApp group, this is not a good lineup. This is not a good lineup. Like, how can they see it? How can I see it? How can Enzo Maresca not see it? I mean, it's not like his hair is in his eyes, is it? Why can he not see that is what's going on? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. How can you look at Chelsea's bench, right, and realistically think that our squad is deep enough to start rotating? Like, think about the players who are on our bench today. Gusto, Hato, Achiampong. You cannot play those young players at Leeds United away. It's like, it's basic. It's like so basic. And that is what is just like really, really disheartening about the entire thing. Can I ask you a favour? If anyone is here and not subscribed, will you please click subscribe now? Please join the community. I love going live. I love exercising the demons that I have to deal with through football. It's like therapy for me. So thank you so much for tuning in. And like I say, if you click subscribe now, it would really, really help me out. I'm going back into the super chat now. From J Mac says, Maresca's flaw is that he doesn't understand defending. PS 97 was a good year. PS 97 was a good year for us, or yeah, 97 was a great year for us. One of the best ever. Yeah, I think you are right. His lack of understanding of defending is problematic. His lack of comprehension about defending is problematic. Also, his lack of understanding about what it takes to win a Premier League title. Like, you obviously don't rest players at Ellen Road. Like, for a Chelsea, Arsenal might be able to rest players at Ellen Road. Genuinely. They don't have a history the way we do. Leeds fans demand a performance from their team when they face Chelsea. They don't demand the same performance when they play Arsenal. They don't demand the same performance when they play West Ham or Tottenham. They demand it from Chelsea. In the way Queen's Park Rangers demand it when they play against Chelsea. In the way that certain teams will demand it when they play Arsenal, right? This is a really hard game for Chelsea. And Enzo Maresca got it wrong. Enzo Maresca needs to look at Leeds United. He needs to look at Ellen Road and go, do you know what? First team. The governors on the pitch. Everyone capable of playing that should start on the pitch. There is absolutely no way that Pedro Neto doesn't start a game like this. For example, Pedro Neto obviously has to start a game like this. There's no way that you make 5 changes going into a game like this. You do not put Jamie Gittins on the wing. Like, Jamie Gittins isn't good enough to start for Leeds. Why on earth is he starting for Chelsea? Like, Benoit Badiashile doesn't start this game. It's so poor. It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. And it's such a missed opportunity. And realistically, the reason that it is such a missed opportunity is because the manager just got it wrong. The manager just completely and utterly got it wrong. Like, we praise him when he gets it right. But it's just such a shame. And do you know where I feel like I've made... He owes me an apology. Because he's made me look stupid. Because I've been telling anybody that will listen that we're in a title race. And we've just lost 3-1 at Ellen Road. We were in a title race for about 72 hours. It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look for me, this. I've had money on it. I owe quite a lot of people at TalkSport quite a lot of money now. Maresca, man! Done me a major mischief here. Like, now I'm starting to look down the table. I'm starting to get worried. Like, you know when I was honestly thinking that we could win the league? I'm looking at the league title. Obviously, the league table, sorry. Obviously, Aston Villa got a big win today. They're up to... Are Villa going to finish above us? Genuinely, just write a comment in the chat. Write Chelsea if you think Chelsea finish above Villa. Write Villa if you think Villa finish above Chelsea. I just want to see, when the comments flood in, I just want to see how many people back Villa finishing above Chelsea rather than Chelsea finishing above Villa. Oh dear, it's such a shame, I tell you that. It really is. How many people are saying Chelsea over Villa? Sorry to James, we've ruined his bet. Really sorry. Arsenal smash Leeds 4-0. Sack the manager, says Stan. Oh, Villa. Loads of Villas coming in. Loads and loads of Villas coming in, which is not ideal. A couple of Chelsea's there. Chelsea says Owen. Tottenham fan says Chelsea. Villa will drop off. I just don't know if they will this year. They had their bad patch at the beginning of the season. They really had their bad patch at the beginning of the season. And since then, they've actually elevated. They found an answer. They found a rhythm. They found form. They didn't score a goal for the first 5 games of the season. People ridiculously were talking about Emery getting sacked. But Emery's a class manager. Really, really good manager. Lots of people are saying you're deluded if you say Chelsea. O'Sheen in the Super Chat says, but who do you play, Rory? Fofana and Reece not available. With the tools he's been left, Badiashile tossing, the owners have failed Maresca. Yeah, I think there is truth in that. I think that we can have a serious conversation about the owners. I think that there is undoubtedly issues with the owners. But I also believe that a lot of the changes that he made were not forced upon him. There is no way that he was forced to start Jamie Gittins. There is no way that he was forced to start Chalobah at fullback. Like, there is an answer, isn't there? There is undoubtedly an answer. Like, Achiampong is better than Benoit Badiashile. So what are you resting Achiampong for? Like, Garnacho, whatever you think of him, is better than Jamie Gittins. So why on earth are you resting Alejandro Garnacho? And let's also be totally honest. Liam Delap, it's a very awkward conversation. It's a conversation that people do not want to hear. But You know. Also, you know how we didn't have Reece James in the squad? Like, is that through injury, or was he left out of the squad to give him a rest? Because I would say you rest him for a home game. You don't rest Reece James, your personality. You don't rest Reece James, someone who knows the club, knows the fibre of the club, knows the DNA of the club. You don't rest a player like that. Ellen Road. Best midfielder in the world, Reece James can't play back-to-back. Says Seagull. Well, he's been left out, but I don't think he's been left out for any other reason other than rotation. I think he's been left out because we thought we could win the game without him, which is an incredibly dumb thing to do. And now we're back to talking to the manager. Philip from Australia says, big love from Australia. I think the need for Gahey to come back is real now. We just don't sign Gahey. We have to hope that Manchester City can stop Arsenal. Yeah, I know. That is exactly what we have to do. That is exactly what we have to do. We have no choice but to do that. We have no choice but to now hope that Man City win. Chelsea's responsibility for the rest of the season, take 3 points off Arsenal when we go to the Emirates, take 3 points off Arsenal and make sure that we don't take 3 points off Man City. It's horrible. It's horrible. We have to actually now start looking at Man City's results, hoping that they win. We aren't in control of our own destiny. We are relying on Man City insulating us from a fateful, hateful day. And do you know how annoying that is? Do you know how humiliating that is for me? Do you know how emasculating and underwhelming it is? I now support two football teams. I support Chelsea and I support whoever Arsenal are playing. I have to worry about Arsenal fixtures. I have to, Arsenal next fixture, Villa. Go on, Villa. You know, I have to start saying, have you won the European Cup? Start singing about 1982, the whole end. Winning the European Cup in the Quip Stadium. Who knew that? The Quip in Rotterdam is where Aston Villa won the European Cup in 1982. I hope. That's what I have to start worrying about. It really is. It really is bad. And look, you know, there is an argument to the board getting it wrong. There is. But I think that Enzo Maresca also got it wrong. Didn't need to make 5 changes. 5 changes is huge. Going into a game like Leeds, 5 changes is huge. You know, he has decided to manage Reece James's minutes. You've already got a suspension of Caicedo. Now isn't the time to manage the minutes of Reece James. You manage the minutes of Reece James when Caicedo's back. Obviously. And I tell you what, that new look back four that he came up with, it was wrong, wasn't it? From the second the game started, the ref blew the whistle. Shh. What happened? You're looking at that back line, you're like, mate, what is going on here with this back line? You know, now we're back to being a long way off the title. And I think that we are correct to ask questions about Maresca's... We have to ask questions about Maresca's team selection. You know, we go to Bournemouth on Saturday. And you're looking at Bournemouth and you're kind of going... That is the kind of game. Like, you'd rather be playing Man City, wouldn't you? You'd rather be playing, I don't know, even Newcastle. Like, Bournemouth is the kind of game that we could get overrun in. It's the kind of game where we just will not turn up. And Enzo Maresca, I'll tell you what, I've just seen a thing here. Enzo Maresca's faced Leeds 3 times in his career. Lost all of them. The first 2 losses came in the Championship when managing Leicester in 23-24. Oh dear. It's really demoralising. But I think that we just need to really start asking some major questions. Like, you cannot rotate. You cannot rotate. Today's defeat ultimately lies with Enzo Maresca's decision to rotate. You cannot manage Reece James's minutes when Moises Caicedo isn't there. Obviously, use your loaf of bread. It's so obvious. You cannot do that. Painful. Absolutely painful. Do me a favour, will you? Will you please click subscribe and try and make this pitiful day just slightly bearable? But yeah, it really is just a terrible day. And ultimately, it is a Maresca problem, isn't it? Maresca got it wrong. Maresca decided to rotate when rotation wasn't needed. Maresca didn't take the challenge that Leeds United were going to offer us seriously enough. As a result, our title charge lasted 72 hours. We were in a title race for 72 hours. Do you know how long that is? That's like, if you watch Godfather 1, 2, 3, you're basically there. That's how long our title challenge lasts. Do you know, like, I don't even know. Go to the gym, sit in a sauna, go home, title challenge done. It's basically what we did. Go out for a long lunch, a couple of bottles of wine, an aperitif, If you have a pudding or a coffee after dinner, it's basically the title challenge, man. Demoralising. It's so demoralising. Like, honestly, Adebayo, just out. Just not good enough. Benoit Badiashile, out. Just not good enough. And it all stems back to what happened against Arsenal, because it's so frustrating. What a week we had. The way that we beat Barcelona, combined with the way that we got a good result with 10 men against Arsenal, a result that felt like a victory. The way that we can do those two things to then just totally press the self-destruct button, it's incredibly annoying. Truly annoying. I'm gutted. I really am gutted. As always, though, I do appreciate you finding the time to join me for this. I enjoy discussing it with you. So thank you all for finding the time. Do me a favour before you go. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Massively helps me out. And also, give the video a like before we go. We might even nudge it to 500 likes. About 70 short. Can we get to 500 likes before we go? Heartbreaker. Have a lovely evening. Ta-ra.